Hello everyone and welcome back to another Marvel Champions video. Yesterday at GenCon, Fantasy Flight announced a few more expansions for Marvel Champions. So we're getting this Galaxy's Most Wanted campaign expansion as well as 4 new hero decks. So we're going to just talk briefly about this Galaxy's Most Wanted set first. So they announced this. It's supposed to come out in February. It's going to retail for about $39.99. It's supposed to have 5 new scenarios in the box, as well as a couple new heroes. We're getting Rocket and Groot at least. We'll get to them later in the video. But they've confirmed the Ronin and the Collector as being villains in this expansion. And I think this is going to be a different Ronin than the one we got yesterday. The one we got yesterday was a print and play minion, even though a very, very strong minion. I think the Ronin in this set is going to be a full blown villain that'll have his own, his own scheme as well as various side schemes that he's trying to accomplish. And then I imagine there'll be a level 1, a level 2, and an expert level 3 for him. They've also announced the Collector. There's supposed to be 5 scenarios in this box, so I imagine those are going to be 2 out of those 5. And it looks like it's going to focus very much on the cosmic aspect of Marvel. So it looks like we're getting, again, some Guardians of the Galaxy stuff in here. So we're getting Rocket and Groot. You can see on the box we have Nebula as well as the Milano in the upper left corner. And then, of course, on the right side, we have Ronin and the Collector. So this is supposed to be, again, supposed to be coming out in February. I know they're supposed to be coming out with the Rise of Red Skull box as well. I think that was supposed to be coming out first. I think it maybe got pushed back just due to what's going on. Like a lot of the sets kind of got delayed a little bit. So Black Widow and Doctor Strange were released later than they were supposed to be coming out. So I imagine that we'll be getting the Rise of Red Skull somewhat soon, hopefully. And then this is supposed to be coming out in February. So we're going to move into a few of the cards from this set, or at least the small amount that they've shown. So we'll be right back with that. And we are back with a few cards from the Galaxy's Most Wanted set. These are the hero cards here. So looks like we're getting Groot and Rocket Raccoon, as well as We Are Groot, Flora and Fauna, and it looks like maybe it says Booster Boost. I can't really tell what it says. But again, we have Groot and Rocket. So it looks like Groot has 1 thwart, 2 attack, and 3 defense. He's a Guardian, and has a Forced Interrupt, which is Flora Colossus. When Groot would take any amount of damage, remove that many growth counters from him. For each growth counter removed that way, it just says prevent. I would imagine that's prevent that much damage. So if Groot takes 2 damage and you have 2 counters on him, you remove those 2 damage and it just blocks. The 2 damage gets prevented. We don't know what his health is going to be, and we don't know what his hand size is yet either, or even what his alter ego side is, if these 2 characters even have alter ego sides, because Rocket and Groot are kind of don't really have alter egos. They're just who they are. Um, I imagine there is some kind of mechanic that will allow them to go into some kind of mode where they can't get attacked and then be able to recover. Because every hero, at least up to now, has had alter ego sides. Even though Rocket and Groot are kind of always just on, they're not really. Again, they're not hiding. They're not really going under like alternate personalities or anything like that. All right. Anyway, moving into Rocket Raccoon, he has 2 thwart, 1 attack, and 1 defense. He's also a Guardian and has I think it says Murder You. As a response, after you deal excess damage to an enemy, draw 1 card. So if you have a minion that has 2 health and Rocket does 3 to it, you got to draw a card for doing that extra damage. Looks like we have the event, which is We Are Groot. The one cost event looks like it's a hero action, having to do something with counters, and I can't really tell much else from that. There is Flora and Fauna. That's another 1 cost event that probably deals with Rocket and Groot, but I'm not sure exactly what it does. And then we have, I think this is Booster Boots or Thruster Boots or something like that. And it looks like it gives Rocket Aerial, because I do notice it says Aerial in the on the card there. And it looks like that card for the boots is part of Rocket Raccoon's deck. So I don't know if these 2 characters, if you play them together, or if they play separately, or if there's like a synergy between one player using Rocket and one player using Groot, or if one player controls both. Because I know in one of the Marvel video games, I think it was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Rocket and Groot were technically one character, but Rocket and Groot, like, they would basically like combine forces, and you would be able to be playing with Groot and have Rocket on your shoulder, like firing in different directions and stuff like that. So I'm sure there's going to be some kind of interesting synergy mechanic between both of them, to where one, like, maybe like Groot can protect Rocket and Rocket can do damage. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see what else is in this Galaxy's Most Wanted set. So it looks like it's gonna focus on the cosmic aspect of Marvel, and it looks like we're getting some Guardians of the Galaxy stuff in there. So we at least have 2 Guardians right now. I don't know if there's going to be any more Guardians in the set. Maybe Star-Lord, maybe Gamora, Drax, and so on. But there's supposed to be five new scenarios with two of them, one of them being Ronin, one of them being the Collector, at least for now. And it's supposed to be coming out in February. We also got news of some new hero packs coming out, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. We'll be right back with those. And on top of the Galaxy's Most Wanted expansion, we are getting four new hero packs at some point. So we're going to be getting Ant-Man, Wasp, Quicksilver, and Scarlet Witch. Ant-Man is supposed to be coming out in November, and we don't know about the other three or when they'll be coming out. The interesting thing with these four decks is Ant-Man and the Wasp are supposed to have cards that will synergize between both decks. So that means I'm imagining there'll be cards that will have both an Ant-Man logo and the Wasp logo, or at least their faces on the bottom of the card, because at the bottom right of the card, for each hero, it'll say, like, these are the cards for this deck that you have to include. So I imagine there's going to be cards that are exclusive to Ant-Man, cards that are exclusive to the Wasp, as well as cards that maybe have both of their faces on it, which means that if there's a card, that card can go in either deck. That is supposed to also be the same for Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, where they'll have cards that will work in either deck. So there's also supposed to be something with the Ant-Man and the Wasp deck that is supposed to have what I think people are reporting as being foldable cards. I imagine that these are supposed to basically represent either like really small or gigantic versions of Ant-Man and the Wasp. So Ant-Man, I think, becomes Giant Ant-Man, or Giant Man, as some call him. I don't know how they're going to do this. The cards actually do fold like that. Maybe it's like the card folds in half for when Ant-Man is tiny, and it unfolds when he's huge, and then the other regular card is just his alter ego side. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I know in Magic the Gathering a few years ago they did a set where they had meld cards, and it was two cards, and you would basically flip them over, and they would form one gigantic card, because you would have one half of the card would be like this, the other half would be like that, and they would just stack on top, or stack end to end, and you would have a full card that way. So Ant-Man and the Wasp are supposed to have that, and then all of these are supposed to have cards that will synergize with the other half of the deck, basically. So Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver will kind of have cards that work together. So will Ant-Man and the Wasp, according to the article here, which there will be a link to in the description. So that is those hero packs. Again, we're supposed to be getting Ant-Man in November. I think we're supposed to be getting Hulk very soon, within like the next few weeks. At least that was the original release date, was sometime in August. So hopefully we get Hulk soon. After that, it looks like we're supposed to still be getting Rise of Red Skull at some point. We have Ant-Man in November. These other three decks at some future date, as well as the Galaxy's Most Wanted in February. So that's going to do it for this video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.